I think we all love this passage from St. John's Gospel. We love the cheekiness of the blind man. You know, he takes on the religious leaders. That's astonishing. This man cures someone blind from birth, and you don't know where he comes from. His kind of spirit captures us. We like this guy. He's bearing his witness. There's an awful lot he doesn't know. He doesn't know who Jesus is. He doesn't know what happened to him. He doesn't know a whole lot of things. But he knows what he does know. He knows that he was blind and now he can see, and that this man did it, and that must, be a truth. That's something that can't be denied. I think if today we talk about outreach, I think in today's session, we can look at that and see the power and the strength that's there in talking about our own experience, our witness, Sometimes I think it can be quite pointless arguing about things. Today, there are an awful lot of people who will say that, what we believe is all rubbish, and it didn't happen, and God doesn't exist, and all those kind of things that in some ways are the common assumptions in a lot of the culture around us. And I suggest that what we're hearing in the gospel today is that those arguments are pretty pointless having. We argue about the existence of God intellectually, or about creation versus evolution and big bangs, or we argue about what we can really know from the first century history of Palestine. And none of these things ultimately will convince anyone. Well, at least that's extremely rare in my experience. They're pointless arguments in a way. If we want to be the missionary disciples that Pope Francis calls us to be, I think we need to look at the blind man who knew almost nothing about anything, but knew what he knew. He knew that he had been blind and now he could see, and it was this man, Jesus, who'd done it for him. And I think when we think about our missionary discipleship, when we think about our outreach and evangelization and so on, it's not about convincing people. It's about sharing with them, well, this is what Jesus has done for me. This is what my faith does for me. This is what my religious practice gives me in life. We can say that to skeptics, or we can say it to people who are a bit lost and confused and looking for a way. And there might be all sorts of things where, we're not up to the intellectual argument, if you like this poor blind man, but we have a blinding conviction of what we do know, of the difference that Christ, our sense of being in the hands of God as a loving Father, the strength of the community life of our church, the peace that we find in prayer, some of these things we can say, well, this is what he has done for me. And with the blind man, we can be a bit cheeky about the rest, You can deny all sorts of things, but you can't tell me that what has happened to me isn't real. With the blind man, we can say, Jesus has done this for me. And if you looked, if you tried, if you reached out, these are some of the things he could do for you.